We're in some crunch time here. We're getting toward the last days of session. It's the 68th day, and I have some very earnest and heartfelt things that I want to say in the coming days. And I'm even thinking about talking to some of you, which is physically painful for me, personally. But it's really time for reasonable Republicans in this state to stand up against some of these policies, stand up for the health and well-being of all Nebraskans, against these bills that are discriminatory and counterproductive. They're undermining the state's ability to attract and retain talent, and they're encouraging harassment of Nebraskans, of our neighbors, of our kids, of our citizens, and of your colleagues. Today, I was hand-delivered a packet from Frank Daly, who's the Executive Director at the Accountability and Disclosure Commission, because I'm being formally investigated because of a complaint that I have a conflict of interest on LB 574 because I have a trans child. So the argument, made by this complainant is that, I haven't even read this all yet, I just received it, but arguing that I have a potential conflict with respect to LB 574 because of my minor child. This, colleagues, is not serious. This is harassment. This is using the legal system that we have in our state to stop corruption, to increase transparency, to hold government accountable, and using it to harass a member of the legislature who you all know is trying to do the right thing, is trying to parent her child in a way that keeps that child alive, in a way that keeps that child successful in school and with friends and healthy, and in a way that potentially that child would have a future in this state as well. Potentially in a way that that child would say, I saw the work that my mom did for 8 years in the legislature, I've seen the work my mom has done as an entrepreneur and a leader in her neighborhood and community, and I'm proud to live in Nebraska. But because of the actions of this legislature, I could call out every one of you I'm talking about, but you know who you are, and when I call you out, it hurts your feelings. And things are so fragile and so, on the edge of everything that I cannot do that. But this is harassment because of a freshman senator who was appointed, who's got it in her head that she's got to get her way on this one thing, and none of you have the courage to peel off of that. As part of a broader discussion about collegiality in this body, I wanted to share the text on the record of this complaint that's been filed against me, and share that I'm under formal investigation in Nebraska now for conflict of interest because of LB 574, the bill to ban trans health care. I received this letter today hand-delivered from Frank Daly, who's the Executive Director of the Accountability and Disclosure Commission. And the letter he brought states, enclosed is a copy of a complaint filed against you and related documents. I'm hand-delivering them to your office. If you have questions, you are welcome to contact our General Counsel. So I'll read the complaint, and I'll read the letter from the General Counsel of the Accountability and Disclosure Commission. The complaint is from someone many of you know named David Begley in Nebraska. I even heard some groans in the crowd. Okay, guys. In the Nebraska Accountability and Disclosure Commission, in regard to Senator Megan Hunt, respondent, comes now David D. Begley, petitioner, and for his complaint against Senator Megan Hunt states and alleges as follows. I am a Nebraska attorney, resident, citizen, and voter. On January 17th, 2023, LB 574 was introduced in the unicameral and filed with the clerk of the legislature. If enacted into law, LB 574, the Let Them Grow Act, would prohibit any minor child from obtaining gender-altering medical services in Nebraska from a licensed healthcare practitioner. On March 22, 2023, Senator Megan Hunt stated on the floor of the unicameral that her minor child, who was born female, was transitioning genders. In order to fully transition, Senator Hunt's child would need medical services. That's editorializing, by the way. I did not say that. The medical services, according to Senator Hunt, would cost $7,000 per month if there was no health care insurance coverage. On March 22, 2023, on the floor of the unicameral, Senator Hunt said that her minor child's health insurance was provided by Medicaid, which is administered by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Furthermore, that her minor child's application for gender transition medical services had been rejected 4 times. Senator Hunt's minor child is a member of her immediate family, as defined in Nebraska Revised Statutes 49-1425. At all times relevant herein, Senator Hunt had a potential conflict with respect to LB 574. On March 23, 2023, Senator Hunt debated and voted no on LB 574. At no time prior to March 23, 2023, prior to that vote, did Senator Hunt deliver and file with the Speaker of the Legislature or the Commission the written statement required by Nebraska Revised Statutes 49-1499A and B. That's conflict of interest. Currently, 25 states and the District of Columbia extend Medicaid coverage for sex change or gender transition medical services. And he's citing Medicaid coverage for gender-affirming care from the UCLA School of Law, the Williams Institute 2022. Nebraska does not extend Medicaid coverage for sex changes. Point 11. In my legal opinion, and per the case and statutory citations set out in the study prepared by the Williams Institute, Senator Hunt and her minor child have Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Hunt and her minor child have a slightly more than average chance of obtaining Nebraska Medicaid coverage for the child's gender transition medical services via a lawsuit if LB 574 does not become law. If LB 574 does not become law, then Senator Hunt's immediate family member could receive a financial benefit with Medicaid paying for the medical services necessary to transition genders. Senator Hunt has the burden of proving that she is accepted from the provisions of our conflict of interest statute because LB 574 would apply to, quote, a broad segment of the public. Wherefore, the petitioner prays that the Commission impose such penalty on the respondent as allowed by law. And that's sent in by David D. Begley, who is a well-known attorney in Omaha. And I'll continue speaking about this on my next time.